I know everybody else could be like, "Oh, you're so dumb. Look, you're wearing the hat." Like, I'm sorry. This
Scripted.
Yeah, obviously. No, this Hello, everybody, and welcome to, well, we don't know what this show's going to be called right now, but we're going to call it the Rob and Jerm Show because that's who we are. I'm Rob. He's Jerm. We're on the Game House channel, and, yeah, we're going to go into a World's Tier List. Everybody's doing it. Why can't we do it, you know?
We're better than them. What are you talking about?
Obviously. And so when I start us off and I say Istanbul Wildcats, number 1 seed here, obviously you know that this is the most serious one yet, but that's okay. We're gonna go. I went S through F tier for us because I do think that there's a few more nuances than most people are giving them from what I have seen. Some of these are going to be worth talking about a little more extensively, others not, but who really knows, who really cares at this point. Let's just jump into it. I have one question, I guess, for you. Do you want to go left to right, or do you want to just go teams at the top? This is one thing we forgot to discuss before this video.
Yeah, no, we can just go left to right. I think it'll be fine. Yeah, we'll go through it. We get the mix and match going on.
All right. So then we get to start with one of our home teams, one of the ones where we are going to know more than some of you out there, maybe. Probably not. 100 Thieves. I am really tempted to put them in C tier for right now. I think there's a world where I could be convinced to put them at the back of B tier, but to be safe, I think C tier. Apparently, the meta is changing towards top lane. That's what I've been reading. That's what I've been seeing. That's what I've been hearing. And let's be honest, I think that may actually help 100 Thieves. But who knows at this point? Like, they got absolutely stomped in back-to-back finals. They made it. I don't know what that means, but they're there.
Yeah, and I think that's something that people don't factor in a lot as well. Like, whatever we saw during the playoffs, Worlds is going to be so different, especially after a new meta team starts scrimming. I know FBI talked about how he doesn't really like Zeri, so he's glad that Zeri's getting nerfed, all this stuff. But yeah, I think high C tier is what I was thinking as well. We'll also have to see as this tier list comes together where the other teams shake out too, so then I can have a better idea of what even high C tier is going to mean for us. But that sounds right to me.
Dude, I love high C. Can we talk about that for a second? Anyways, moving on. We have the second seed from the PCS, Beyond Gaming. I've heard they're okay. I think they're duty. I believe D tier for duty makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it looks to me like they finished 6th place in the regular season, so, maybe a team that obviously got better in the playoffs and stuff, but BYG wasn't necessarily so great at Worlds last year, and that was even when they had Doggo and stuff, and they're probably going to be a worse version this year, so, yeah, I'm not coming in with too high of expectations. PCS had their moment, but doesn't seem like the PCS as a region is even as strong as they used to be.
Yeah, I mean, can we talk about maybe not giving them 2 seeds in the future? Sorry.
That's fair.
All right, Cloud9 here. I am confident in this team. I'm putting them A. I know everybody else could be like, "Oh, you're so dumb. Look, you're wearing the hat." Like, I'm sorry. This
Scripted.
Yeah, obviously. No, this. If it's top lane meta, that only helps C9. Fudge can absolutely pop off on carries. I think Blabber prefers to play through the top lane. Jensen's just gonna do his thing. Berserker's going to find a way to be useful, and Sven has a lot of great experience. This team is coming in with a ton of confidence. I think this team's going to be really good, honestly. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. And yeah, obviously they're NA's 1 seed, but I do think they can actually potentially make a top 4 run as they've done in the past.
Yeah, no, I think they definitely have that potential on the higher end. I don't know. I think A is definitely a little spicy, maybe low A, high B for me. I think they definitely have that higher end potential. And as an NA fan, I want us coming into this thing with some expectations and some hype. So I like where your head's at. And I hope Cloud9 shows up because I know at their best, they absolutely can get out of this group, even though some people are already counting them out.
All right, now we head into the best name. If this was a best name tier list, and maybe we'll do that later. CTBC, Flying Oyster. I just don't. I mean, I guess I got to put them at least D tier because we put Beyond Gaming D tier, and they're the better seed technically. But both of these teams just. I was watching a video with River talking about it, and even he was just like, "Yeah, they're good, I guess." You know,
being nice.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I think they got to be D tier. Like I said, I do think they will be better than Beyond Gaming, and overall, I'm going to be taking the. Oh, this is the PCS team. I do the VCS and PCS. I'm always getting mixed up too. So these are the two.
Actually, sorry.
No, you're all good. It's like once you start talking, going one way. But yeah, I don't think they're F tier just because. The minor regions, minor regions, I do think there's going to be a little bit of a gap there. But yeah, I don't see this team, really competing with many of the major region teams. Speaking of.
Yep, and here we go. Chiefs Gaming. Here's the deal, guys. Raze is their starting AD carry. I think that's all that needs to be said for right now.
They're the best Osh team of all time.
Oh, I'm sure. That's because all their good players are in NA. Awkward for both regions, really. Okay. Detonation focused me. If they had Arya, I would be more convinced, but Arya's not there. I don't really think that this region is any good. They're not bad. They are bringing, I think Utapon is back. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, Utapon is back. Eevee's back. Steel is back. Like, people who've made it here before, and they made some noise, but whatever. Again, I don't want to waste too much time on that.
It's an F tier. I will put them above Chiefs, though.
Yes, I did do that. All right, DRX. Dude,
this is where it starts to get a little spicy. This is the controversial one.
I'll be honest with you. I want to put them in C tier.
Yeah, no, I think so. Like,
they barely made it. They weren't even great. Yeah. Like,
right.
They're not a bad team, but they're not, like, good, and everybody's always overrating the LCK. Talk about overrating. Like, we'll get to that later, but get it out of here. I'm done.
This is really going to be one of the most interesting teams to me at Worlds, because this is really going to show how strong, like, a mid-tier Korean team is. I mean, if DRX gets out of groups, then, okay, the LCK is just cracked. But if DRX struggles, say they go like 2-4 in their group or something, it's like, hey, the gap might not be as big as some people are acting like.
Yeah, and then hopefully Mad Lions will make it so I don't have to dress up as a lion.
That's a story for another day.
All right, Damwon. Another team, like, I was looking it up. Damwon literally only finished 2 series above 500, 7 games above 500, which, in case you didn't know, they play like 40-some games. Not great. They came on at the end. I'll be honest with you. I think they're B tier. I think everybody's going to really hype them up because of who they have on their team. With like Nuguri, Canyon, Showmaker. I don't like their bot lane all that much. And I don't think that... I mean, if Nuguri really pops up, but he was splitting time with Birdall too. So I just don't... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, at the height of Damwon Kia, it was Showmaker and Canyon as like the 1 and 2 best players in the world, or at least in that conversation. I mean, from what I'm hearing and seeing, it doesn't seem like that's the case anymore. Yeah. I will say that it's time and time again when I've counted out Canyon or Showmaker, said it looked like they were done or whatever, they are just annoying. You can never really get rid of them. But yeah, I think B's interesting. I really hope Cloud9 and maybe a couple other Western teams can show up and be better than Damwon. But I do think Damwon's going to be a tough out at any stage of the tournament.
No doubt about it. And that moves us to EDG, a team that really the former world champions, by the way, they barely make it. I'm going to put them at A still, though. Listen, sometimes there are teams that turn on in the quote-unquote playoffs. This is kind of one of those times, I think, potentially. I'm not going to count them out right now. I counted them out last year multiple times. I'm not making that mistake again. I think Flandre is great. I think JJ plays well. Never counting out Scout or Viper literally ever again in my entire lifetime. So, I'm putting them at A. I am going to
Viper's just fun to watch. He's going to be cracked. Yeah, I mean... I would probably put him ahead of Cloud9, but man, it sucks just auto putting all the LPL teams ahead of the Western teams. Yeah. But I really do think, especially with how things have gone, that at this tournament, the Western teams are going to have to prove that they're better than even the mid to lower tier Eastern teams before we can start slotting them auto in ahead or whatever. But those are going to be a fun game. C9 against EDG, I would love to watch that.
That would be a hell of a series. Moving on, we got the Cowrie-led Evil Geniuses. I'm comfortable with them being C behind 100 Thieves right now. I will say, though, I actually think that there's a world where if Cowrie can just be there, that, Impact Inspired and JoJo and Vulcan can do enough to actually lift this team to be higher. I think a lot of people are sleeping on them. I'm not going to go far enough to place them at high C, but I'll tell you this much. If Danny, for some reason, makes a miracle comeback and gets in here, I think this team instantly moves up to be close to A range for me. I've been high on this team all year.
Yeah, so like even now, I personally would put them ahead of 100 Thieves and DRX, both, because I think that 100 Thieves, they only beat EG 3-2 during the playoffs, and I think this time with Cowrie of scrimming and stuff, I think is going to be really, really beneficial. And I think if either 100 Thieves or EG is going to get like really ramp up over the next couple of weeks, I think it would tend to be Evil Geniuses. And I was just so impressed with how JoJo Pune was playing during the playoffs and stuff. I think this now his second international tournament. I think he's going to be really good, inspired. Like, I think this EG team, if that's what they look like with 1 week of scrims, what are they going to look like with a month of scrims or 3 weeks or whatever?
You know what? I like it. We are NA homers, and we're not going to apologize for it. So get over it.
DRX is ahead of 100 Thieves right now.
Barely. Fnatic.
they're gonna be creeping up as the video goes on.
Probably. I'm gonna put Fnatic in C as well. I'm gonna put them behind 100 Thieves. I've watched the LEC all year. I can tell you that great for this team for turning it on in best of fives, but they are going to be playing best of ones to even get out of their group. They have a pretty good chance when you look at their group. Fnatic, Beyond Gaming, Detonation Focus Me, EG, Loud, and Chiefs Esports. This should be a cakewalk for Fnatic to get out, but if there's one thing I have also learned this year, I'm never going to trust this Fnatic team. They're super talented. Don't get me wrong. This is another team that when all the pieces are working together, they could push into that A tier. They really could, but I don't believe that that's going to happen. I don't think that's even, a coin flip of a chance.
Yeah, and especially with everyone talking about the meta shifting away from bot lane, like Upset has been their best and most consistent player throughout this whole year. I've watched a lot of LEC and a lot of Fnatic as well, and they're a team that wants a player on Upset, wants a player on bot lane by necessity, because Wonder, I think, has been okay at times during the year, but like you don't want to play through Wonder. No. He's playing like the Gragas and stuff like that. So if Fnatic has to force bot lane in a meta where that's not good, that sucks. Or if they have to play towards somebody else, that's gonna suck too.
I couldn't agree more. G2, this is going to be really controversial. I want to put them A tier. Bottom of A tier, but A tier. I know they got swept by Rogue. I understand that. But Yankos and Caps are pretty awesome. Their bot lane's a bit of a liability at times, but I also think if it's going to be top lane focus, dude, Broken Blade has been underestimated his entire career, and all he does is come out and perform almost every time. There are games where he will lose them for you, for sure, but he's going to win you more games than he's going to lose you.
Yeah, and I think Flockett is a liability, like 100%. Like, I don't even think it's like maybe. It's like he is, but like you said, shifting the meta away from bot lane is going to be good, but I also think they're going to be creative, and they have been this whole year. He's played the Seraphine, he's played some other picks, and yeah, the rest of their team is so good. Targamas has been so impressive the whole year. Caps, Broken Blade, Yankos at their best. And yeah, Rogue 3-0'd them, but G2 also 3-0'd Rogue during those same playoffs. Just because the most recent series went that way, that doesn't change the rest of the season.
Agreed. And this team knows how to turn it on. When Caps decides that he's going to not be Craps anymore, I just think counting them out's a mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Gigabyte Marines. Now, there's a chance, there's a world where apparently they might not still even get to play. Which would be
so they gotta be below F tier then?
No, I'm gonna still put them. I'm actually gonna put them near the top of D. I think the VCS is generally better than the PCS. Gigabyte Marines is an organization that has been to Worlds multiple times as well. And I don't know, Marines are cooler than Oysters, I guess. So.
Yeah, I think maybe at their best, there's even a case for like low C tier. We still got to see more of them and see how it goes. If they did beat like a Fnatic or 100 Thieves level team, I don't think I would be totally shocked.
Same.
But yeah, I think top of D tier is fine.
Okay, cool. First S tier team, no doubt, Gen G, don't even have to question it. This team is really, really, really freaking good. Doran is their only kind of weakness, and he's not really much of a weakness, but when you have Peanut, Chovy, Ruler, and Lehens, this team is absolutely stacked. They're all playing really well right now. I believe Ruler won MVP as well, so...
Yeah, this is actually the team that I'm the most excited to watch. Like, I'm going to be trying to watch the most of their games. The clips I've seen of Ruler are just crazy.
He's popping off right now. And he's like, it's not even like a mid-lane focused meta. I mean, it's just stupid. All right, yeah. I believe this is Isurus Gaming. Is that it's Isurus?
You get the S tier, you get the bottom tier. They're the Latin American team, I'm pretty sure. I think they're probably one of the weaker of the whole tournament.
I would bet that it's between these two for the weakest. All right, moving on. JDG, absolutely stacked for me. 369 Kanavi, Yagao, Hope and Missing. Yagao, Kanavi, and 369, we have seen do it time and time again. I don't know that I am ready to put them above Gen G right now. Gen G were absolutely dominant, but yeah, I like this JDG team too. I'm really excited. I watched a couple of their games earlier this year. I didn't really keep up with it, but they seem to figure it out throughout the rest of the year too.
Yeah, no, these top couple teams are going to be so interesting to see how they interact with each other, how the meta shifts affect them, how they adapt to the patches. And also, you got to remember, at least one team always comes to World and shits the bed. So, it's going to be tough deciding who that's going to be. But yeah, it's weird because like the LCK is not as deep of a league. So it's like Gen G, T1, often they look super, super dominant, but it's like they're playing against 10 teams with a lot of weaker teams. LPL, like you're just running a gauntlet. So constantly. It's hard to compare.
Yeah. Loud, I'm just putting an F. I don't know if we need to have a discussion. They'll probably be better than Osh, and they'll probably
be that one Brazilian guy that's pissed, but...
Yep. Sorry. Not. Okay, Mad. This is controversial, and I'm down with it, and I don't care.
Yeah, I think I agree.
I want to put them B tier.
I was going the other way.
I think low. I know. I gotta live or die by having to dress up as a lion at this point. But here's the deal. I think Kaiser is so severely underrated. I'm gonna probably actually potentially put him in my top 30 players at Worlds. I think he is just incredible. I think Niski has played really well. Yes, Armut is absolutely a problem at times, but at other times he can play really, really well. I think Elyoya is really talented, and I just think they're at the very bottom. They are literally the bottom of B tier for me right now.
Yeah, so for me, they're like almost the top of D, if not the very bottom of C. Right, I do really, really like Kaiser. I do think Kaiser is underrated, but the rest of the team I'm worried about. Unforgiven going to his first international tournament. Niski is a guy who I've always been critical of internationally. He always looks good domestically, and just can't take it to that next level on the international stage. And then that I think is going to have a chance to affect Elyoya as well, because we saw how different Elyoya looked in spring and summer with a good and a bad mid laner. And then you have Arma in the top lane as well. Like, it's just really hard for me to be excited about much about this Mad Lions team right now. And to top it all up, the cherry on top, the only team in World's history to ever qualify without winning a best of 5. I don't know. I don't know.
These are best of ones, though, to start, and that's all I need to do to get through. So,
sounds good.
Are you cool with us putting them above Fnatic and below 100 Thieves, then?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We reached the middle ground from low B to high D.
All right. RNG, I think this is the best playing team. I don't really think it's very close. I think they're A tier. I would actually probably... I could be tempted. Wait, I got to remember 1 second. Breathes really good. Zhao, yeah, this team's good. I kind of forget sometimes who there's on. I think this is fine for me. Now, there's a world where they definitely drop. I mean, they're here for a reason. They are the 4th seed for a reason. But they're still pretty freaking good. So, I'm not comfortable putting them any lower than A.
Yeah, no, I really, really like this team. And just with how much of a veteran and how much international experience, even a guy like just Zhao, who by himself has, like, I can't count them out. This guy he always shows up. He's always there at the end. I don't really think this is going to be the LPL team that doesn't show up.
I agree. All right, I'm going to move Istanbul up here just to get them out of the way, because then we have 4 actually interesting teams to talk about.
There we go.
Rogue finally figured it out. They won their championship. Good for them. I just don't. I think Comp is awesome. I think he played really freaking well in playoffs. Reminds me a lot of how Hans Sama popped off during playoffs, which is interesting. I think Trimby's consistently is criminally underrated. I think Larson played really, really well, and I think Malrang has helped them. I'm happy to put them top of B, though. I think there's a world where they can play better than that, but I don't see it.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally fine. I was going to say bottom of B. I mean, we only have 2 teams. I was going to say right below Damwon, but I think at their best they could compete with Damwon. But yeah, no, I think we're on the same page there.
Okay. Saigon Buffalo, I think they round out this D tier, but I think that they're the top of D. They could maybe even push to bottom of C. They're pretty solid, honestly, and Vietnam, again, as we've talked about, is normally better, although I can't put them above Gigabyte Marines.
So Marines is for sure the best of that group. But I do think they're ahead of the PCS teams. I think it'll be interesting to see like Oysters against Saigon Buffalo, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows is the right question, because now we got the 2 much more interesting teams to talk about, and we got a couple minutes left on this video, so let's do it. T1. I think they are A tier, but where is the question for me? I think they are the top of A, and here's my reasoning why. I think they turn it on at Worlds as well as any team. They were the MSI reps for a reason. They still finished second. They played really, really well, and I think Gen.G's really strong, and that makes people think that T1 maybe is not as strong for some reason. I'm not counting on it. I expect T1 to have a good chance.
Yeah, I'm totally on board for that. I think T1 is one of those teams who is going to be very volatile. I think the worst version of T1 could definitely finish below here. Mm-hmm. I think the best version of T1 could definitely show up and be an S tier team. But yeah, I'm definitely fine averaging that out around to the top of A or to the top of A. But they're going to be another one that's fun to watch. You can't not watch Faker.
Oh, no doubt about it. Last one we have is top esports. I think clearly S. Tion is probably the best jungler in the world right now. I think along with that, Knight is somebody you can never count out, and Jackie Love is just a beast. Sure, Jackie Love has bad games here and there, but when he's not, I believe it's like him and Viper are probably my 2 favorite AD carries in the world. I'm fine to slot them back of S, but I do think that if I had to guess, these would be my top 3 teams going to Worlds right now, and I think this kind of works out perfectly. These are our top 8, which I believe that's who would qualify for knockouts, if I remember correctly. So I'm pretty happy with these 8. What about you?
I don't know if it couldn't actually be these 8. I think just based off like the groups and stuff. But no, I think this is a solid 8, and it also you can start to base the strength of the groups and everything off that. But yeah, I mean, if NA ended up with or if the West ended up with 2 teams in the top 8, and then another one maybe knocking on the door, or a couple knocking on the door, I think overall that would be a big step up. I hope we make quarterfinals. I hope we win a game in quarterfinals this year. But I think it's going to be fun. I'm glad we don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. and I can't wait.
All right, any changes? Anything you're seeing right now that you're like, oh, this is bad?
Not anything. I think the only spicy things is maybe bumping up Gigabyte Marines or bumping down Mad Lions. I know that's just like from my perspective personally. Other than that, I think I at least relatively like where everything's at for the most part. I think there's at least there's going to be people who get mad no matter what, and there will be people mad about this, but I'm on board for, at least 90% of it.
Well, let us know in the comments below. How dumb are we? Are we believing too much in Western League of Legends because we are Western League of Legends fans? Or is it maybe that you're just an Eastern League of Legends fan and you guys forgot that 2 of the top seeds last year didn't even make it out? So,
there were two Western teams in the top 8 last year, so this tracks.
And they were obviously great because they didn't win a game after that. But you know what? They got there. So
they made it.
Whatever. All right. Well, this is episode 1 of Rob and Jerm. So make sure that you check out thegamehouse.com. Also, make sure that you check out the video that will be over Jerm's face and the video that's going to be over my face as well. And from our house to yours, we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.